Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisy, and today we're going to be talking about two weddings, and we are going to be talking about two rustic themed weddings. And I'm also going to be talking about at the end of the video, if you wait to the end of the video, we're going to talking about briefly certain elements of a rustic wedding that you should look out for, maybe when you want to plan your own rustic wedding or when you are going to a wedding and then it's rustic themed. Yes, so hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisy. So rustic theme is related to countryside, and this is done by incorporating certain elements from nature into the events or the wedding. They are nature inspired elements that are brought into the wedding, and that's usually what makes it themed. And like I said earlier, at the end of the video we're going to talk about like 5 major things that you see at an event and say, oh, this is rustic. So the two weddings we're going to be talking about are KJ Life and Awanjololua. Yes, I'm going to start with Awanjololua in a bit. So, Lego.
I pray that my joke is too dangerous. I smile, but my smiling is too dangerous. I am coat of many colors.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining.
Awanjololua, the bride is Oluwadamlola and the groom is Olayinka. Olayinka is the photographer. Olayinka, the groom, is the photographer. The Truth Weddings. If you know the Truth Weddings, that is the groom of this wedding. And it was an amazing wedding. I particularly love their pre-wedding shoots. It was beautiful. It has a special space in my heart. Yes, one of those. It has certain elements to it that I love personally. It was supposed to be around the time of the lockdown, but it had to be postponed. And it was supposed to be a wedding of 150 guests, but became a wedding of 30 guests. So the initial date for the wedding was supposed to be 27th March, but later became 30th of May. And it was planned by Gems Events NG. The makeup artist for this wedding was Oteniara. And if you know Oteniara, you know she's an amazing makeup artist. And the person who made the suits was Daieziey. The wedding dress. Now, this wedding dress looks like a replica of Lala Akindoju's wedding dress, and it was beautifully done. Like, the difference is the color, and then number two, the thing is, number one, the one thing is the difference is the color, but the number two is the sink. It looks so alike. Like, what I mean by so alike is like it's not a case of what I ordered versus what I got kind of thing. It was well tailored as well. So it was a beautiful remake. You get when the picture surfaced on the internet, I even thought it was done by the same designer until I saw that it wasn't. I thought that Sprinkle made the wedding dress, and it was tastefully done. It was really done. It was done nicely. So these 30 guests were there at that garden space, so beautiful, so lovely, and they had the wedding. They had this picture area that they put together, and their bridesmaids and everybody was there, and it was amazing. It was so impeccable. The coming together of everything was so impeccable. Some of the details were like the prayer and advice thing, and I really liked it. Honorary mention is the ofi that they wore for their traditional wedding. The ofi they wore for the traditional wedding was black, and you know how much I love black. I'm a fan of black. Black is G for me. Yeah. So let us move into the hashtag KJ Life.
Hi everyone, this is a very quick behind the scenes. It's a rustic wedding in the garden of the bride's home, and actually indoors as well, inside her house, which is absolutely stunning. There's so much artwork. I feel like I'm in a gallery, literally, and it's just so pretty. Let me quickly take you through before I've got to run. So guests are going to come in, and then they're going to get a pouch from Banke Kuku Textiles with their face masks inside so that we're COVID compliant. And then to be extra doubly safe, they're going to get their face shields. They'll be handed a face shields by one of our hostesses, and then they'll be given a hand sanitizer. The bride is so detailed. So this is the living room where the canapes and the cocktails are going to be had before the actual event. The room is so stunning. This is the dining table. The floral arrangement has been done by the flower shop. It smells amazing here. I mean, you can't smell it, but I have to tell you how amazing this space smells. Twists and Salt Lagos have provided cakes, and honestly, they have amazed me because they didn't know that they were both providing cakes, but the synergy how well the cakes go together. I'm just blown away. Anyway, so this is a screen because there's going to be Zoom interaction. The guests are going to be able to talk to the guests here. They're going to come outside for the ceremony. The ceremony space is so pretty. It's in the garden of the bride's home. The sculptures, pretty, florals. I mean, this space is just a dream to work with. We definitely didn't need a venue. Okay, so this is the bar area, and my goodness, is it stunning. The bar area is so rustic and so chic. The guests are going to come here and order their cocktails and their drinks. And yeah, so we're set to go. It's such a beautiful space. Today is a great day. It's so lush. So glad that the sun is out and the guests can absolutely enjoy the atmosphere. And we're just looking forward to starting. I can't wait.
#KJ Life was planned by I Do Weddings NG. I Do Weddings NG is one popular wedding planner. I used to initially think that I Do Weddings NG was a blogger. To be honest, I used to think so, but I later got to know that the person was a planner, and I'm like, oh, couple for KJ Life were Kesiana and Jide. Kesiana is the twin sister of Eku Edewo. If you know Eku Edewo, she is a presenter and an actress. One of the programs she presents for is 53 Extra, and that's where Eku Edewo is. So she's a presenter, she's an actress. Yeah. Eku Edewo's twin sister, Kesiana got married to Jide Oduse, and it was fantastic. The venue for their wedding was the backyard, was their mom's house. So inside and outside the mom's house. The mom's house was used as the wedding for the venue. So we're supposed to use Macu, but they went for pergola instead because everything was done from scratch. The person who decorated the wedding was the mother. So the mother decorated it, and it was amazing to see how details were put into everything. Like, she did fantastically well. Kesiana and her mother are both interior designers. They are both interior designers for Showcase Interior. They are both owners of Showcase Interior. And Showcase Interior was the interior person for the house generally, and so as well as other furniture that were now used for the wedding. It was a civic wedding, and let's mention that it was a civic wedding, not a white wedding, not a joining. It was a civic wedding. So civic wedding, as we know, has become a thing these days. So it was a civic wedding, and it was a real lovely put together. The dress, which is something that you would naturally not see, but I think because they were trying to go for a rustic themed wedding, true, that dress was impeccable for that ceremony. And the dress was by Abiola Olushola Official. Really, really lovely dress. The groom's suit was done by Okore. I do not know how to pronounce that. I'm going to put it. You're going to still see it. Photography was by Lexash Lifestyle. And the Zoom wedding had like a mini reception of its own after the joining civically. So they had their reception. So there was a timing for the Zoom party to start. So they had a Zoom party, and it was really amazing. They had a Zoom party, so people were going to be doing their speeches all the way through Zoom, and that was a really, really beautiful thought. I really love the fact that they were able to input that. And so only a good number of people were able to come into the compound, and then others were sent the link to join. According to the bride, they needed a cake designer, aside from just the cake baker, and Livy's Twist was a perfect match for the cake designer, and they had to go with her. So Livy's Twist and Salt Lagos were the bakers for the 3 cakes, and were really fantastic. Let's talk about the 5 elements of the rustic thing. Number 1, wood. The first wedding and the second wedding, you see something that is recurrent in the 2 weddings is wood. So when you're having a rustic themed wedding, or when you're going for a rustic themed wedding, one of the things you should see, or the things you put in mind, is there's going to be a lot of wood. So bare wood for your tables, or it could be the decor itself. There's going to be a lot of use. You're going to use a lot of wooden elements at the wedding. So it could be printed wood, it could be physical wood, it could be anything, bare wood, whatever. Number 2, soft light. There's going to be, so instead of using a lot of colored mood lights, it's always going to be mostly soft light, something that looks like pretty much in nature. So a lot of times people use either normal white lights, soft lights, or they go with green. Like they just go with green, and it's so that just give that mood of the outside, which brings into the next thing, and that's a lot of greenery. So there's a lot of greenery which exposes into that thing of, oh, okay, this space is green, so they're going to be using either decorations that have greens and grasses. There's going to be a lot of green carpets and flowers and generally greenery, or there's going to be the use of the outdoor, where you're going to bring the elements into it without having trying so much to put together. Number 4 is repurposed accent pieces. And repurposed accent pieces are basically you picking out things that probably you've used before, like empty jars that they use instead of getting the proper flower vases. They use empty jars, transparent empty jars or whatnot, and that's where you're going to put in your flowers, for example. It could be anything. Don't worry, yes, I'm sure you've seen pictures. Which brings me to my number 5, and my number 5, which is the last one I'm going to be mentioning. There are so many, but these are just the 5 I'm going to be mentioning. Number 5 is the DIY decor. I already, as I brought it from, so I'm lifting it a bit from the repurposed decor. A lot of times when you see especially when it comes to small events, most rustic themed weddings, a lot of times are DIY. Now it could be from a decorator, or it could be there's less of printing here, renting this, renting that. There's a lot of DIY, do it yourself. In case you don't know what DIY is, do it yourself. There's a lot of DIY, so to fit the purpose of what you are trying to do. So when you're trying to plan your rustic themed event, rustic themed wedding, it is very important for you to be able to put together these elements. You try not to make it too much, don't go overboard with it, but make sure they are doing just right. Not too small, not too much, but just right. That follows the kind of life you live, that follows the kind of life your spouse or whoever is involved is living, so that it doesn't look too much to you, doesn't look too much in the photography. You don't need to go overboard. You just need to do it just right. You cannot make it, don't bother making it too small or whatnot. Make it just right. Browse about these things, look for more pictures, make sure that you are repurposing things. That's the good thing about rustic theme. Make sure that you align a lot of light, a lot of soft light, a lot of greenery, and to a great extent wood into your event. So it could be wood. So instead of using marquee, you could use the pergola, so where you erect wood. You could use wooden chairs. You could use wooden tables. A lot of white. That's why soft light is actually very important, because white also makes things look brighter. Yes. White decor, adding white to your decor, making there be a lot of greenery, green carpets and whatnot. And these things all put together your rustic themed wedding, rustic themed event. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Daieziey, Daieziey. Live, love and laugh.